Being a PhD is very much a grind, and I just want you to be well aware of that. If you're thinking of doing a graduate degree and you're thinking of becoming a researcher, no, it's going to be a grind for a very, very long time. And it's going to feel like you're pushing all the time. And that is okay. That's actually a really good part of our life, is that we do get to push every single day and to explore different things. And we're always on the edge of what we can possibly do. But I want you to really understand that this is very much a grinding career. And you should be just aware of that as you're doing this. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Maslach. I'm an Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people who help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out. So it's important to realize that this is very much part of being in the grind is very much part of doing research and becoming an academic or any particular career that is, pushing the boundaries. And that's really what you should be viewing this as, is that you're almost like a professional athlete. In fact, you are competing in a competitive arena, and it's very much like you are competing for the Olympics. And every day you have to be training and doing a little better and pushing yourself and getting to the next level of what you can do. And the reason is that it's constantly changing. The frontier, the technological or research frontier is constantly changing, and you're keeping up to date with it. And to keep up to date with it, even being 5 years out, you can be completely behind what you should be actually doing. And so you have to realize that it's a grind. Every day you have to be doing something and pushing yourself towards something. And that is okay. I want you to just be aware of that. And as you're going through the motions, just know that you can manage this grind, right? That's an important thing to understand, is that the grind is there, but you can manage it. So why does this grind exist? It's because you are the only one that can actually complete anything. You need to be the person that takes charge, and you have to be very much entrepreneurial. You have to be the innovator in your space, where you're constantly doing the next thing and looking at the next thing. And you have to be okay with that is your job, is to complete different things. You're constantly also comparing yourself to other people. That is by nature, that's part of the career. And this is one of the harder things to realize. One of the trickier things when you first get into a doctoral program and you first start doing, any sort of research, is that there's a lot of uncertainty, and it's hard to manage that uncertainty of like, what is the right thing to do? I don't know what is the perfect thing to do. But then there's also this comparison game where you're comparing yourself to other people, and other people almost always look more successful than you, and they always look better than you. And you have to come to terms with that. Whatever space that you're in and however you're comparing yourself, you're always going to be thinking, these people are better than me. And you have to sort of just get into the mode of being okay with what that means. And the other thing in terms of why this is such a grind is that you cannot put your thoughts down. It's not something that you can stop. So a lot of careers, you can do that. Think about if you're in construction, you just put it down and then you're done for the day. However, it's more akin to being the manager or the entrepreneur that's actually running things and doing things, where you are constantly worried about the project falling apart. And so you can't put those thoughts down. They never disappear. They're always there, and they're always in the back of your mind. So as you go into this career, first thing you should realize is that this is very much a grind. This is Izzy's down here. That's why my hand is down here. Izzy the doggy. And you have to realize that it is a grind, but at the same time, you have to know that you can manage this. And the way that you manage it is to live a healthy life. and to focus on trying to be as healthy as possible. Every time that I have ever felt beat up or down, it's because something's been off in my life. And I really need to understand that, hey, this career thing, that's part of it, and that's part of my life, and it's an important part of my life. But there's so many other things that are in my life that are just as important and that matter, and I have to worry about those too, like getting some exercise every day, brushing my teeth every day. I know that seems ridiculous for me to say that, but there's a lot of times when you're in graduate school, when you're when you're an assistant professor, whatever, you're worried about working so much. You're like, I can't brush my teeth right now. I'm too busy. But you need to. Those are important things to do. You need to spend some time with your family. You need to build a family. That's important, that's a very important part of it. You have to spend your time with, maybe you have a significant other. Well, that's a commitment. You have a significant other there, and you need to spend some time with them. Spend time with them. Don't get all wrapped up into this, because what's going to happen is that's going to fall apart, and then that support system disappears, and then you're alone. And when you're alone, that's when things break. And you have a lot of really bad experiences then. So make sure you spend time to really value the things that are important in your life. And that work stuff, it's there and it's important. And, it is a grind, but know the other things are just as important too. And if you can't get to that, well, that's it. And if you can't get to it and you fail in the career, well, that's okay too. That is totally a perfectly amazing outcome. It's not going to feel like it, but it is, because that means that you can go do something else that's maybe a little bit more suitable for who you are as a person. So, just be okay with yourself is what I'm saying, and be okay to know that this is a grind away. I actually spend the time to actually do that work, but at the same time, know that you can look out for yourself as well. So with that, give me a thumbs up to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.